Welcome back to Central Valley Talk. I'm Mike Briggs, the host of the show, where we come and we celebrate what's good about our state and our valley and the whole country for that matter. You know, we used to be a little, starting in 2008, we started Central Valley Talk as a small local talk show, and we grew and grew. But during the COVID period, we couldn't have guests on the show, so we discovered a secret called Zoom. Now we're able to talk to people all over the state and all over the world and let you know so many cool things that are going on. And to that end, our next guest is MichelleMurray. I'm honored to say MichelleMurray is Miss California Queen of Charity. Did I get that right, Michelle?
You did.
That's exciting. When were you crowned?
Actually, just a few weeks ago on the 1st of the month.
Nice.
So it's a brand new title, and I'm excited and honored to represent all that this pageant stands for.
Yeah, I was, of course, we've known Michelle for a long time. She is an author, and we've talked to her about her books, which I want to get to in a minute, if you don't mind, Michelle. So when I opened up the Zoom screen and she's wearing a crown, I thought, wow, what happened, Michelle? So what was the process to become Miss California Queen of Charity?
You know, first and foremost, I would tell you it's a lifestyle, right? Because Queen of Charity, our pageant director, the founder of the pageant, you know, she's all about being kind to others, right? Being good to other people, helping, you know, your fellow human being. And so I would tell you that's definitely one of the things she looks for in the girls that participate in the pageant. So it's definitely a lifestyle, you know, enjoying and having a will to go out and help other people, whatever that might look like. You know, sometimes that means just having a listening ear. Sometimes it might mean rolling up your sleeves and sweating a little bit, you know, or maybe giving donations, monetary or in-kind things, you know, whatever that means. But it's really all about being able to live the lifestyle of wanting to be kind to others.
Nice. Now, most time when we have a pageant winner on our show, they have a platform. Do you have a platform you could tell us about?
I do, and thanks for asking about that. I think it's super important what my platform is. My platform is actually about financial literacy, right? And that's something that a lot of people ignore, take for granted, and don't pay attention to like they should. But the people who say, well, I'm broke, I don't have anything, so I don't need to learn about money. That's exactly the
They'll always be broke, won't they? They'll always be broke.
Yes, everybody needs to. And whether, you know, you have 3 pennies or 3 million pennies or whatever, each of us can educate ourselves and learn how to prosper and be a little more stable financially by educating ourselves. So that's my platform, is to bring that type of education to the masses.
Now, when should people start learning about financial literacy?
As soon as they can talk and understand.
Yeah.
With my own son's 22, and when he was kindergarten and first grade, I was teaching him, and you know, he had the proverbial little lemonade stand. But he was a Boy Scout, so he sold other things. You know, Boy Scouts, they sell nuts, not Girl Scout cookies, but nuts, and other things. So he learned the value of work. He understood how money worked, because that's important. A lot of children don't understand how money or credit works, so they turn into adults who don't understand that.
Right.
So I think it's very important as children, just like we teach them their ABCs or how the stove works, or, you know, it's hot, you'll get burned. We need to teach those same lessons with money so that people turn into adults who understand those lessons. Yeah.
Interesting. As we're talking, I was thinking about back in the 1960s, my grandma, her husband died, and it was in the 60s, the late 60s, but she had never written a check. He took care of everything, and she had no idea how to do anything. And so I guess it's never too late to start learning.
It's definitely never too late. And it's interesting you bring up that story. I also, I'm a veteran of the United States Army, so sometimes I volunteer my time to work with surviving spouses. And that story you just described with your grandmother is so common.
Really?
You know, the primary bill payer dies, and the surviving spouse, they don't even know what bills they have. They don't know how to pay them. They've never not only written a check, but in 2023, they haven't dealt with electronic transfers
Yeah.
or any of that kind of stuff.
Wow.
So it's never too early, and it's certainly never too late. Because
Yeah.
some people, they become ashamed and they think, well, I'm 50 or 60 or 80 and I've messed up my whole life. It's too late. Well, no, it's not. It's never too late to turn that around.
Right. Looking back in my life, I'm 64, I can say, and if I had it to do over again, I only would have borrowed money, of course, to buy a house. But my second one would be I'd only borrow money for a tool to help me make more money. Like you need a car to go to work or something like that, because the things I bought, like a nice stereo and charging
Right.
clothes on the card and stuff, it was a big mistake. So I'm glad you're taking a leadership role in that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And with respect to the children, and I know we said we'll talk about this later, but with respect to the children, I am a writer, and I've also launched a line of books where we have Matt the cat. He's a cat detective. And so he solves the mysteries of life,
Yeah.
right? And so one of the big mysteries he focuses on is the mystery of how does money work?
Nice.
How does credit work? And things along those lines.
Is it
And
Matt the cat?
Matt the cat. Matt the cat.
At what age
And
are
he
these
teaches-
kids getting this early financial education?
So those books are designed for children ages 3 to 8.
Nice.
And I'm working on having something for the preteens, teenagers, that hopefully I will get it released by the end of year. But in the interim, I do lots of seminars and talks and connections for people with different education, so that they can learn. Because again, you're never too young and you're never too old to learn.
Well, I need Matt the cat to come to my house and help me find my money. Anyway,
Yes.
tell us about some of your other books.
So, well, typically I write thrillers.
Nice, yeah.
My last book that you were gracious enough to interview me about was called The Berg.
Right.
And it was set, we had an Army veteran solving some crime and going through some mysteries out on the West Coast, of course. But the new book that is about to come out in a couple of weeks, and it'll be available wherever books are sold, this one is my first foray into fantasy. So I was kind of excited about that one. In this book, there was a war raging up in the heavens, and an angel and a demon were fighting, and the demon accidentally falls down to earth. The angel didn't send her to hell, she sent her to earth.
Oh boy.
So she has to run down and try to save Earth, but in the process of saving Earth, they both kind of save themselves. And I had fun with this one because it's almost like a metaphor for humans, right? We have our wonderful side that we want to present to the world all the time, but then we have that side that needs to be polished and maybe doesn't mean to be ugly, but it is. And we have to somehow, rectify that and bring it into one and not two separate selves. And that's kind of what that book is about. So I'm excited for that one to come out in a couple of weeks.
Are you done writing it?
I am.
Yeah, I told you this last time you were on. I said congratulations, because like I said, anybody can write a book, but few people can finish writing it, get to an end, and then take it through that next process of getting it published. And I guess you figured out the publishing part because you're cranking them out now.
Yes, it took a minute, but yes.
By the way, I hope it's okay. I put your email address on the screen, MichelleMurray at protonmail.com. MichelleMurray at protonmail.com.
Absolutely.
And if people have a financial question, can they ask you?
Yes, of course.
It's your mission now that you're the Miss California Queen of Charity, and we're excited about that. And congratulations! We're really out of time. I could talk to Michelle for hours. Obviously, anything else you want our viewers to know?
No, just a reminder, I'm down in LA County, North Hollywood, but I'm all over, not just the state, but I really want to build bridges across the country during my reign. So, if you'd like for me to come host a seminar, do something virtual, or you want to stay connected and jump on some of my seminars that are free, they're free, just reach out to that email and I would be glad to connect. And thank you so much for having me today.
And by the way, you would be so fun to go to a seminar with Michelle, talk about finances and things like that. I appreciate your doing this. And we'll have you back soon, Michelle, especially when that other book comes out.
Yay. I look forward to it. And again, thank you so much for having me.
All right. We'll be back with more Central Valley Talk right after this.